Remember the good old days of the internet? When the dial-up tone was the soundtrack of our online adventures, and the World Wide Web was a wild frontier waiting to be explored? Those were the days when every click felt like a step into the unknown, and every new website was a treasure trove of information and excitement. You know, back when you could actually tell if you were talking to a real person online. Conversations felt genuine, and the internet was a place of human connection. Yeah, me neither. It seems like those days are long gone, replaced by a digital landscape that's increasingly hard to navigate. That's the crux of the dead internet theory, folks. This intriguing and somewhat eerie theory posits that the internet, as we once knew it, is no longer the same. It's a shadow of its former self, a digital ghost town where real human interaction is scarce. This theory suggests that the internet as we knew it, a vibrant hub of human connection and creativity, is gone. Kaput. Replaced by what? By an endless stream of automated content, generated by bots and artificial intelligence, designed to keep us engaged but devoid of genuine human touch. An army of bots and AI churning out content like a factory farm produces chicken nuggets. Appetizing, right? These digital workers tirelessly produce articles, videos, and social media posts, all crafted to mimic human creativity but lacking the soul and authenticity that once defined the internet. But is the internet really dead? Or has it simply evolved into something unrecognizable? The digital landscape is now filled with content that feels hollow, interactions that seem scripted, and a sense of community that's been replaced by algorithms and data points. Or is it just pushing up daisies? Has the internet become a graveyard of what it once was, with digital gravestones marking the end of an era? It's a haunting thought, but one that many internet users have started to ponder. That's what we're here to find out. We're going to dive deep into the dead internet theory, explore its origins, and examine the evidence that supports it. We'll look at the rise of bots, the role of AI, and how these elements have transformed the way we experience the internet. We're going to delve into this theory, examine the evidence, and try to figure out if there's any life left in this digital wasteland. Is there still a spark of genuine human interaction? Or has it been completely snuffed out by the relentless march of technology? Buckle up, Internet Explorers. It's going to be a bumpy ride. As we navigate this complex and often confusing digital world, we'll uncover the truth behind the dead internet theory and see if we can find any signs of life in this vast digital expanse. The dead internet theory paints a bleak picture of the online world, one where bots and artificial intelligence have seized control. Imagine this. You're scrolling through social media, and every post, every comment, every like is generated by an army of soulless algorithms. No real people, just lines of code designed to mimic human interaction. Creepy, right? Proponents of this theory argue that these bots are everywhere. They're inflating follower counts, manipulating search results, and even spreading misinformation faster than a wildfire in a windstorm. They're like digital puppets, controlled by unseen forces with their own agendas. But who are these puppet masters? That's where things get really interesting, and a little bit terrifying. Like most things on the internet, the dead internet theory has murky origins. It's like trying to trace back a rumor in a high school cafeteria. You're never quite sure who said it first. But the general consensus is that this theory started bubbling up around 2021 in the dark corners of online forums. One name that pops up frequently is Illuminati Pirate. Now, before you roll your eyes, this anonymous internet denizen posted a lengthy rant on a forum called Agora Road's Macintosh Cafe. This wasn't your typical internet gibberish. It was a surprisingly articulate and unsettling thesis about the internet's demise. And people listened. The post spread like a virus, infecting other forums and eventually making its way into the mainstream media. The dead internet theory doesn't just stop at bots dominating the internet. Oh no, it goes deeper. This theory suggests that these bots aren't just running amok, they're being controlled. And who's holding the leash? Governments and corporations, of course. Because what's more dystopian than powerful entities using technology to manipulate the masses? Think about it. If you control the information people see online, you control their perception of reality. Governments could use bots to spread propaganda and quell dissent. Corporations could manipulate consumers into buying their products. The possibilities for manipulation are endless and frankly terrifying. But is there any truth to this Orwellian nightmare? Let's look at the evidence. So, Is there any actual evidence to support this theory, or is it just a bunch of paranoid ramblings from basement-dwelling internet dwellers? It's a question that has been on the minds of many, especially in an age where misinformation can spread like wildfire. The internet is a vast and complex ecosystem, and separating fact from fiction can be a daunting task. Well, the truth, as always, is a bit more complicated. It's not as black and white as some might hope. There are layers upon layers of data, trends, and anomalies that need to be sifted through to get a clearer picture. There's no smoking gun, no definitive proof that the internet is a wasteland ruled by bots. However, the absence of concrete evidence doesn't mean the theory is entirely baseless. It's more about connecting the dots and understanding the broader implications. But there are some curious trends, let's call them. These trends might not be conclusive, but they certainly raise questions. For instance, the patterns of online activity often show spikes and dips that don't always align with human behavior. For starters, bot traffic is a real thing. It's not just a myth or a scare tactic. Bots are used for a variety of purposes, from indexing websites for search engines to more nefarious activities like spreading spam or conducting cyber attacks. Studies have shown that a significant portion of internet traffic comes from bots, not humans. This isn't just speculation, it's backed by research from reputable sources. The numbers are quite staggering when you think about it. Some estimates put it as high as 50%. Imagine half of the internet traffic being generated by automated scripts rather than real people. It's a sobering thought, and one that has significant implications for how we understand online interactions. That's a lot of bots, folks. And it's not just the quantity that's concerning, it's also the quality. Bots are becoming increasingly sophisticated, capable of mimicking human behavior to a degree that can be quite convincing. And while not all bots are malicious, their sheer volume raises some eyebrows. The presence of so many bots can distort our perception of reality, making it harder to discern genuine human interactions from automated ones. Then there's the rise of AI-generated content. This is another layer to the puzzle. AI is not just generating text, it's creating videos, images, and even entire personas that can interact with people online. From deepfakes to realistic chatbots, AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated at mimicking human behavior. This makes it even more challenging to distinguish between what's real and what's artificial. The lines are blurring, and the implications are profound. Now, before we all descend into a panic-stricken frenzy, let's hear the other side of the story. Critics of the dead internet theory argue that it's all a bit overblown. They say the internet is far from dead, it's just evolving. Like a digital butterfly, it's shedding its old skin and transforming into something new, something different. Sure, there are bots, but they're not all powerful. Platforms are constantly battling bot activity, trying to weed out the fakes from the real deal. And while AI is getting smarter, it still lacks the nuance, the creativity, the sheer weirdness that makes the internet so fascinating. The human element, they argue, is still what drives online trends and shapes digital culture. So where does that leave us? Is the internet dead? Not quite. Is it dying? Maybe a little. The truth is, the internet is at a crossroads. The rise of bots and AI is undeniable, but so is the human desire for connection and authenticity. The future of the internet depends on the choices we make today. Will we allow bots and algorithms to dictate our online experience? Or will we fight for a more human-centric internet, one where real connections and genuine interactions are valued above all else? The answer, my friends, is up to us. So the next time you're scrolling through your social media feed or browsing the web, take a moment to consider who or what you're interacting with. In today's digital landscape, it's easy to forget that not every interaction is with a real person. Algorithms and bots are becoming increasingly sophisticated, often blurring the lines between human and machine. Is it a real person? Or is it just a sophisticated algorithm designed to mimic human behavior? These digital entities can simulate conversations, provide customer service, and even create content, making it harder to distinguish between genuine human interaction and artificial intelligence. The dead internet theory might be a bit extreme, suggesting that a significant portion of online content is generated by bots rather than humans. However, it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of critical thinking in the digital age. We must question the authenticity of the information we consume and the sources from which it originates. but it serves as a stark reminder of the importance of critical thinking in the digital age. We need to be vigilant and discerning consumers of information, always questioning the authenticity and intent behind the content we encounter. We need to be more discerning consumers of information, more aware of the forces that shape our online experiences. This means fact-checking, cross-referencing sources, and being mindful of the potential biases and agendas that may influence the content we see. More aware of the forces that shape our online experiences. Social media platforms, search engines, and other digital tools use complex algorithms to curate our online experiences, often prioritizing engagement over accuracy. Understanding this can help us navigate the digital world more effectively. And most importantly, we need to seek out genuine human connection in a world that's increasingly dominated by artificial intelligence. While technology can facilitate communication, it cannot replace the depth and authenticity of real human relationships. In a world that's increasingly dominated by artificial intelligence, we must make a conscious effort to connect with others on a personal level, whether through face-to-face interactions, meaningful conversations, or shared experiences. Because at the end of the day, the internet might be made of ones and zeros, but it's the human connections that give it meaning. These connections enrich our lives, provide support and understanding, and remind us of our shared humanity. But it's the human connections that give it meaning. So, as we navigate this digital age, let's not lose sight of the importance of genuine human interaction. After all, it's these connections that truly make the internet a valuable and enriching part of our lives.